Your Excellency, it is my humble pleasure to address you today on yet another crucial factor in the development of this beloved nation of ours, Uganda. Your Excellency, we are honored to have you in our midst today as we commemorate the 4th National Youth Business Forum. Research shows, Your Excellency, that 38% of Ugandans aged 18 to 34 are engaged in some sort of entrepreneurial activity. This is compared to the 36% of Ugandans who are above the age of 35. Your Excellency, this only means that young people are more oriented to business than other older generations. And this is because the young are willing to take risks, innovate, and learn. Your Excellency, it is against this background from the 9th Commonwealth Youth Business Ministers Forum held in Uganda that recommended that we hold the annual Youth Business Forum as an avenue for young people and businessmen to meet, interact, network, and pitch their innovations to each other. The Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs, as a de facto caucus of the youth MPs, has championed this idea, and here we are today. Your Excellency, the Youth Business Forum grows bigger and bigger, and the presence of you, our fountain of honor, on this occasion is a testament to its growth. Your Excellency, this year's Business Forum brings together hundreds of young people involved in manufacturing, innovation, and economic production. As you have inspected the different exhibitors, Your Excellency, it is important that we, as the leadership of Uganda, get to build the entrepreneurship spirit among young people for the economy to thrive. Your Excellency, we are here today because there are many young people like Justus from Bushenyi who started and innovated a water leakage innovation pump that can avoid the leakage of water from all sources, and even for farmers who are into agriculture. Your Excellency, 62% of young business owners lack profitability, and the challenge is in gaining funds as the main reason for business closure. For us to grow an entrepreneurial culture, we need to support our young innovators to own businesses and benefit economically from them. Your Excellency, I would like to bring to your attention the research findings from the annual State of Youth report carried out by the Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs, that only 6% of young entrepreneurs cite financial institutions as the source of their capital. Other sources are family, friends, and personal sources. Your Excellency, 80% of young entrepreneurs have not received support from any existing policies or schemes to help them boost their businesses. Your Excellency, 1.8 million Ugandan youth are running businesses informally, with 80% of them admitting that their product lines have not changed over time, indicating little or no growth. This therefore impels us to think beyond what is existing. And Your Excellency, as a result of this forum sitting here today, some of the expectations that we hope to achieve are to establish a business forum as a program beyond just an activity, a program that will pick the best business owners, producers, and innovators and integrate them with the different skilling hubs that we have as a game changer. Your Excellency, we also look forward to a special financing scheme within UDB for the young business people, and we request that a financial scheme that is youth-friendly is oriented and put in place. Your Excellency, as the Forum on Youth Affairs in Parliament, we do have a legislative agenda that we are working on. And one of them that is supposed to solve the entrepreneurial challenges in the country is the startup bill that is already in the pipeline and will be tabled by the Honorable Okot Boniface. Your Excellency, we look forward that this bill will be able to enable us as a country not only protect capital venture, but to also specifically look at the particular incentives that young people can be well informed of and utilize to boost their innovators and entrepreneurs. Your Excellency, we also look forward to tabling the graduate scheme bill that should be able to have young graduates soften their, better their soft skills and ably compete on the world market as a way of Uganda tapping into the East African integration and the different labor avenues that we have across the world. Your Excellency, would therefore like to seek your audience on these particular bills to tap into your wisdom on how best this legislation can be shaped for the young people of this country. Your Excellency, allow me extend our appreciation to you for supporting the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Act for its amendment, as you rightly stated in your State of Nation address of this year. This bill, as the young people were earlier discussing today, will not just help the matters of intellectual property, our partners that have enabled us Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Communications Commission, Uganda Development Bank, Civil Aviation Authority, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Kampala Capital City Authority, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, NIRA, and the Parliament of Uganda. And in a special way, our gratitude goes to our youthful minister, the Honorable Evelyn Anite, who has been running with us up and down to ensure that this event is a success. Your Excellency, we also appreciate the development partners led by the European Union that is well represented here by the ambassador, and the civil society partners led by Action Aid International and the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. As the Parliamentary Forum for Youth Affairs, Your Excellency, we look forward to your support and guidance of the young people of this country as we envision a country that harnesses the potential of its young people for development. I cannot thank you enough on behalf of the forum, on behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of all our partners, Your Excellency. We are more than blessed to have you grace this occasion and for the young people to learn more from your continuous preach about wealth creation and looking forward to a Uganda that we all love to see. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Honorable Nyamtoro Fiona. Thank you, the youth MPs. Thank you, Honorable Fiona Nyamtoro, Honorable MPs, youth MPs who accompanied her. Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me invite His Excellency Ambassador Jean Sadak, the EU Ambassador to Uganda. Your Excellency, the EU has been a constant partner in supporting the Youth Business Forum. Mr. Ambassador, would like to thank you for always responding to the call of the young people, and we look forward to further and good engagements in future. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Great to be here. Let me address, of course, Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. The Honorable Minister of Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, also a pleasure. The Honorable Members of Parliament, the youth MPs, representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, business representatives from Uganda and from the European Union, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am really honored to be here today among such distinguished guests to participate in the 4th Youth Business Forum for supporting young innovators and startups. This gathering exemplifies the vibrancy and resilience of Uganda's young entrepreneurs, innovators and visionaries. It is truly an event that underlines the immense potential of this nation's youth. Youth, as the most valuable resource of any nation, possess a unique capacity for fresh ideas, untamed creativity and boundless energy. This potential is the driving force behind progress and development. It is the cornerstone upon which the future of any nation is built. Today we gather here to celebrate the successes and the inspiring stories of young Ugandan entrepreneurs who have dared to dream, dared to take risks, and dared to turn their ideas into reality. Each of you represent the spirit of resilience, innovation, and dedication that is necessary to foster economic growth, create jobs, and drive societal progress. This spirit is all the more important given that around 700,000 young people reach working age every year in Uganda, putting a significant amount of pressure for jobs to be created at such a pace. It is in this context that the European Union recognizes the importance of youth entrepreneurship and innovation and is committed to supporting the youth in Uganda in their journey towards economic empowerment. We believe that by empowering young people to start and grow their own businesses, we can collectively address some of the most pressing challenges facing Uganda to reduce unemployment and poverty and move towards sustainable economic development and social inclusion. In particular, the support to startups is fundamental, thanks to their high potential for generating new livelihood opportunities and for providing innovative solutions to day-to-day problems. Innovation and the development of the startup ecosystem does not happen overnight. These have to be carefully nurtured through adequate support. That is through education, through infrastructure development, and through access to finance. The EU takes a holistic approach to its partnership with Uganda that covers all of these areas. As part of the Sustainable Business for Uganda, or SB4U, the Team Europe initiative, a flagship for the EU Global Gateway strategy. Through a current financing of around 90 million euros or 345 billion Ugandan shillings, complemented with additional Team Europe financing from our EU member states and through SB4U, we are dedicated to working hand in hand with the government of Uganda and local partners to create an ecosystem where the youth can thrive, create sustainable enterprises, and ultimately shape a better future for their country. SB4U focuses on 4 areas: skills and attitude, access to finance, governance and accountability, and promotion of trade and investment. And we are exhibiting actually our program over here in the tents over there. So if I may attract your attention also, Your Excellency, you are most welcome to come and have a look and a chat in our tents over there after this program. It would be wonderful. As part of this effort, I'm very pleased also to announce that alongside with the Belgian Enable, we will soon launch the new WeWork program to create green and decent jobs for the youth. For a total contribution of 50 million euros, the program has a dedicated support on technical and vocational education and training, as well as entrepreneurship promotion. And this is also something that can be visited and experienced over there in the tents. I'm also very excited to announce that this week we will launch a new project on business acceleration for young entrepreneurs in the film sector. Listen now, very interesting. It's titled Opportunities Are Here, and this 2 million euro project aims to invigorate and professionalize the Ugandan film sector as means to raise the international competitiveness of Ugandan film industry, including by raising the quality and creating market linkages for original Ugandan content, and by skilling over 5,000 young creatives in the business of the film industry. And this, Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, I think is an incredibly exciting project in a modern sector that could create many jobs. So I really look forward to seeing Uganda and the EU embarking on this walk of fame together. In terms of trade, by the way, the EU is among the top sources of foreign direct investment in Uganda, and a top destination for Ugandan exports. We actually had a trade turnover in total of 1.5 billion euros, or Ugandan shilling 6 trillion. And this is not bad, I think. And unlike many other trade partners, our trade is balanced, with 750 million euros of export to Europe and 750 million euros of import from Europe. And I think this is an ideal starting point. And Your Excellency, you will remember we have elaborated on the coffee value chain together, where there's so much potential, and there are many other areas to consider. And through our programs, the SB4U, we stand ready to further support Uganda and its young entrepreneurs to reach the EU market as a means to increase and to diversify Uganda's exports. I want to end by directly now addressing you, the youth of Uganda. You are not alone in this journey, I would want to say. You are part of a global community, and the EU stands beside you in your pursuit of a brighter future. I encourage you to collaborate with your peers, share your knowledge, and continue to seek support from your mentors and organizations that champions the cause of entrepreneurship. I also encourage you to visit alongside, perhaps with His Excellency, our tents over here, and also to take a look at our trade portal on the internet to see what the trade opportunities are between the EU and Uganda. Finally, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, many of you here were present when we organized our flagship event, the second Uganda-Europe Business Forum in October 2022, for which we have received great feedback, and we were really honored, Your Excellency, by your presence at the EU-Uganda Business Forum last year, and also by Minister Anita's presence, of course. So before I leave the stage, I'm happy to announce that there will be a third Uganda-European Union Business Forum that will occur early next year and will be live streamed. And I think it's going to be a very exciting event, so remember to register for participation when the registration opens. Thanks a lot for your attention, all of you, and good luck with the Business Forum. Many thanks, Your Excellency.
Can we give the EU ambassador another round of applause? A generous one to recognize and thank him for the offer. He said, the youth of Uganda, you are not alone in this walk, in this journey to develop Uganda, to transform this country. The EU is with you. Your Excellency, with your permission, the youth leaders, the youth who have organized this, have said they have a 2-minute presentation of a dance, a song for you, to entertain you for 2 minutes. May I request the ghetto kids who are ready to perform, where are they, to rush up here? The ghetto kids with the song or the dance to entertain His Excellency, where are they? Yes, come right here. This young people group is called the Hypers. The Hypers. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, those kids have been supported. Those kids have been supported by General Nalweiso's office in your office to get out of the ghetto through the drama, through dance, through entertainment. They have been supported by your office through the able hands of General Nalweiso. Thank you very much, ghetto kids. We appreciate it. Can we clap for them? Thank you very much for the talent, young talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, allow me now invite the Honorable Anita Evelyn Kajik, the Minister of State in charge of investment and privatization, to come and deliver her speech, and then invite His Excellency to deliver this historical speech on this 4th Youth Business Forum and Expo. Anita, you're most welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the EU Ambassador, Mr. Sadrak, and your colleague, the members of Parliament representing the young people of Uganda, the female youth MP for the whole nation, the MPs for North, East, West, and Central, the young people from the various schools, the young people in business, the heads of the different government parastatals who are supporting the young people of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask all of us first and foremost to put our hands together and clap for General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for making time. Your Excellency, you've done an excellent work for this country, Uganda. First and foremost, by making Uganda to be stable now for 37 years. Your Excellency, for that, we are sincerely grateful to you as the citizens of Uganda, and especially the young people of Uganda. Let's clap for him. Mr. President, you have been able to support the young people. It is for you that the young people have representation in politics from the village level up to the national level. Your Excellency, Uganda has been a ground for learning for many countries to see the involvement of young people in the development of their economies. And you have done this ably. And Your Excellency, today I am amazed that you have come not in a youth political activity, but to support the young people in business. Mr. President, you have supported the young people to come into the development of the economy. First, you brought a program called Youth Livelihood Program. You invested money in that program. You did invest money in the Youth Venture Capital Fund. Your Excellency, you say the young people's businesses have got to recover. When COVID hit the globe, you introduced a program called the SME Recovery Fund. Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen, you did hear the representative of the young people, Honorable Nyamtoro, talk about 38% of the young people being in business. Your Excellency, for that you invested 200 billion. The young people have not accessed this money. I heard them asking questions here. Your Excellency, it is not your responsibility. You did your work. It is now the implementing agencies. And the central bank is here represented by Barugaba. I'd like to ask him to stand up, because after here he has to explain to the young people how they will access the money to support their businesses. That is Barugaba there. Your Excellency, you also guided that we must involve your young people in the development of our economy. You did not only talk, but you walked the talk. You built industrial hubs in the 20 zones of the country, and the industrial hubs are standing. For that, I want to ask the young people to clap for you, for your skilling them. Your Excellency, you took your time. I give you kudos. I watch national leaders like yourself and international leaders, but I have not seen a leader of your caliber. You took time and you're speaking to the young people, understanding what they're exhibiting, how they're doing the production. Today, the young people in front of you here want to tap your knowledge and wisdom of how they can start and do business. Your Excellency, it is away from politics, it is business. You have made a call to the young people of this country. You asked them not to take politics as a career, but you told them that they must go take politics as a service, but most importantly, focus their energies on developmental areas. Your Excellency, we are eagerly waiting for your knowledge, because whereas you're a politician, but you are also a businessman, and you started at a tender age, we believe that the young people can tap into your knowledge. Your Excellency, I do not like to speak about myself as your student, but I have learned to transit from politics to business. And I believe many young people here are happy to leave politics and go into business. If you believe, say, yay. Your Excellency, you've heard for yourself, it's a fertile soil. I know as the master who plants the seed, today you'll plant the seed of transformation and developing the economy of Uganda through business. Mr. President, I want to take this opportunity to thank the European Union that have come here to support these young people. I want to, in a very special way, thank the members of Parliament who moved away from organizing political forums to organizing a business forum. The young people before you came, Mr. President, from Makerere, from Chiambogo, asked that they need us to have these forums to the grassroots level such that the young people can be able to get this information. Your Excellency, indeed, that is where we are moving. Your Excellency, my final point is that 60% of the national budget has been dedicated for public procurements. I want to thank you that you accepted that we support the young people, and for that we have ring-fenced that every procurement below 100 million should be given, 100 billion and million should be given to the young people of Uganda. Your Excellency, we talked about partnership. The young people here are happy to come together and partner and be able to supply government and be able to do business in partnership. Your Excellency, as an excellent teacher that you are, who knows how to break it down for the young person and for the ordinary citizen, allow me as the young people to rise up and put their hands together and invite them for you to plant the master seed among them. Young people, shall we rise and clap for the President as we invite him to speak to us?
Sit down, please. The Honorable Minister, the Honorable Members of Parliament, the EU Ambassador, and the youth delegates. I have toured the stores, and I have seen a sample of your exhibitions. I want to congratulate the Honorable Nyamutworo and her colleagues for getting you together and for knowing that this is the correct way to go. I also want to congratulate the exhibitors and the other innovators for finally waking up. The problem of Africa has been sleeping. In Luo we say Nino Matek. In Rusoga we say Kulambara. Okwebaka Gweshigera. This has been the problem of Africa and its leaders, especially in the last 400 years. The Africans have been asleep, especially their leaders. The story of the human race starts 4.5 million years ago. That is when man evolved from lower primates to what we came to call Homo sapiens sapien, meaning an intelligent man. Now, this Homo sapiens sapien has been the agent of development and transformation. Why? Because of three characteristics. First of all, unlike other animals, he has got a superior brain, a brain which has got more convolutions on the cortex of the brain. Therefore, able to think and reason instead of acting by instinct like the other animals. This is the first characteristic. The second one is bipedalism. The fact that you people, you walk on 2 legs instead of walking on 4 legs or crawling on the ground like the snakes I saw there when we were coming. This frees your eyes to see far and your brain to think more. When a snake is in the grass, maneuvering around, doesn't have time to think. It is too busy negotiating through those obstacles. Now, finally, the human being has got a hand, this hand, engaro, which can hold tools and do work. It is these three characteristics that enabled man to understand the laws of nature. What they call science is really understanding the laws of nature. Gravity, wind, light, sound, and all those natural laws, and use them to solve man's problems. And it has been a long journey. About 1.5 million years ago, man was able to invent fire. This was a big revolution, invention of fire. Because before that, man didn't understand fire and couldn't use it. But when he invented fire, it helped him solve so many problems. Then, learning the domestication of crops, knowing that instead of following crops in the bush, you can take some seeds and grow them in a controlled way. Then my tribe, the Banyankore, many years ago, learned how to domesticate cows. Those cows were wild animals. We were able to tame them and domesticate them and use them. And so we were able to domesticate other animals, goats and so on. Then the iron, the invention of iron. This was a big achievement. Now, the problem of Africa is that somehow, in the last 600 years, the Africans have been asleep. They withdrew from inventing, and they just sat and started using only what they knew. That's how a gap was created between us and especially the Europeans. And the Europeans used that gap to come and conquer us and cause problems for us here, and also for other parts of the world. It started with the invention of gunpowder. Gunpowder, those of you who have studied chemistry know what it is. Initially it was potassium nitrate mixed with some few other things, where you have these solids or powders in a confined space. Once you provoke them, they change from powder or solid to gas. And you have studied physics, you know that the gas has the property of expansion. Gases expand. And when that one happens, that pressure is able to expel a solid, which we call a projectile, that can do bad things, can kill you. That's how the Chinese are the ones who invented gunpowder. But the ones who used it first were the Europeans. Now, by monopolizing that knowledge, they were able to come here from the time of, and the pressure for the Europeans started in 1453, when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, what is now called Istanbul. The Turks blocked the Europeans from going to the east. There was an old route which had been discovered by a man called Marco Polo, which you fellows you should have heard about in your studies, which was a trade route. That's what the Chinese are now talking about, the Silk Road, the road for bringing merchandise, silk and spices from the east, from Asia to Europe. Now in 1453, when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, they blocked that. And when they blocked it, the Europeans started looking for another way to the east. And they were trying to go around the African continent, started by the Portuguese, who got to about Sierra Leone in about 1470 something, got to where Angola is now in 1482, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama. Then 1487, Bartholomew Diaz, another Portuguese, reached the Cape of Good Hope. That's why he called it the Cape of Good Hope, that there was now hope to go around Africa. Then 1498, Vasco da Gama goes around the Cape of Good Hope and goes to the east and starts coming here. Now, this is where I blame our ancestors. Okay, maybe you were asleep, you didn't know, because you had your own way of life. But when these new people came, the Portuguese initially, coming with gun, they already had gunpowder, which they were using in inefficient rifles, not very efficient actually. Those rifles were not much better than than spears, because they were still using what they call muzzle loaders. But you wonder why our ancestors who got in touch with those pharaohs didn't take interest to say, what is this gunpowder? Let's make it, let's make it. So there you have the problem for the African people, especially their leaders, the so-called kings and all these clowns who are around here. Because when the Europeans go to Japan, far away from us, the Japanese also were still asleep, still using swords and so on. But the Japanese, these people have come with the new technology, we must learn it. The Portuguese quickly learned, the Japanese quickly learned the technology which the Europeans had come with, and they were able to compete with them. But your pharaohs here, kings and witch doctors and all these clowns, were here just making a fool of themselves, making you kneel down and go on the ground. So they are the ones who caused us a problem of not waking up our people. Europe itself was not very far advanced. I was with a group here a few days ago. We were here with some other people here, and I was telling them about a man called Louis Pasteur or something like that, a Frenchman. Who knows what Louis Pasteur did? Do you know? Who knows? Somebody who knows, come to the microphone and educate us. The girl who is seated there, the girl who put up her hand, the girl. Come to the microphone. Remove your mask and talk properly.
Louis Pasteur, the Frenchman, made yogurt. He brought up the knowledge of culturizing bacteria, lactose bacillus, in order to get it from milk that has a lot of lactose to a lactose-free product.
Fantastic. What's your name? Introduce yourself.
My name is Monge Macklin, and I'm a student of agriculture at Makerere University.
Your name is who? Your name is who?
Monge Macklin Adong.
Adong.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, there is an African who has woken up now. Thank you, Adong. Adong, thank you. Now, Adong, 1 minute. Which year was this? You check on the internet, they will tell you. I can tell her, 1862.
Yes, 1860. Thank you, Mr. President.
This is free aid from me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sit down. Now you can imagine that until 1862, the whole world did not know that there was, apart from we and the other animals, which you can see with your eyes, that there were other organisms which we cannot see with our eyes. The microscopic organisms. This is what Louis Pasteur discovered in 1862 when he discovered the bacteria which the Banyankwere were using for millennia, the one of converting fresh milk, amashunu, the Europeans don't even have the words. The Europeans, they say fresh milk. What is that now? Why don't you have a better word? But the Banyankwere, they call fresh milk amashununu. Then you put enkamyo. Enkamyo is what Adongo is called in culture. Enkamyo is a small portion of the Europeans don't have the word. They call it sour milk. No, it's not sour. It is amakamo from milk which is already yogurt, a small quantity at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You put it in the fresh milk. It is called okubuganza. And by 5 a.m. the next day, the fresh milk would have become amakamo. Amakamo, I think you call it yogurt or what. So, this is the first time the human being, any human being in the world knows that there is the world of organisms we see and the world of the organisms we don't see with our eyes. And that's why killing the microbes now in products is called pasteurization. Pasteurization. This is from that man, Louis Pasteur. But you can see this is 150 years ago when the whole world, other parts of the world woke up to know that when I'm standing here, there are other organisms around me which I don't see, but which are there. Now, the Europeans, using that, in addition to gunpowder, they quickly added other inventions. And for us here, we were here with our kings, with our witch doctors, with also the priests came and prayed for us to remain like that. And then when we die quickly, die early, because of the other microbes which we don't see, the priest comes and says, oh, God gives and takes away. God is the one who has called you, but why does God call Africans only? Is he only for African company or what? Why do the Africans die early? Because you fellows here, before the NRM came, you were dying at the age of 43. That's why my soldiers started calling me Musei. Even when I was 30, they thought I was too old, I should have died. Now, this is the culture of stagnation that has been our problem. The not knowing what Louis Pasteur saw 1862, that and what other people, we had seen it, because you remember, like the iron, we discovered the iron ourselves. We didn't get it from anybody else, but we got stuck. So therefore, I'm very happy when I and the education system, also the colonial educational system was part of the problem. And I was very happy to see the lecturers from Makerere who were there exhibiting what they were exhibiting, to make disinfectants. And I was asking them, how do you do it? They say we mix sodium something. and we make disinfectants. Yes, that's what it is. This is not witchcraft. This is science. So therefore, when I was walking through your exhibitions, I was really very happy. I'm glad you have now woken up, and you are not going to be like your ancestors who were asleep. And that's what the NLM has been trying to do right from the time of the Bush. That's what to wake you up, to wake our people up, to say, you people, you can do it. Now, you see the mistakes in the world. When you hear all these wars going on, they are caused by this ignorance of some people think that if they happen to have technology, to know more about technology today, that they are therefore entitled to go and enslave other people. This was the mistake of the Europeans. Why did the Europeans think they could colonize Africa? Why? Did they have clever people among them or what? But the miscalculation was, we have got gunpowder, we can go and those people have spears, we can go and conquer them and control them. Wapi, they didn't know that everybody can wake up and also copy or even exceed what you are doing yourself. So I'm glad you are waking up. I'm here among the people who muzukuse oba mukyali mutulo muzukuse kale katonda yebazibwe. Now that you have woken up, the only other issue is to link the waking up about science. And of course, we're having the issue of the social sciences. What is the role of the social sciences? The role of the social sciences help to understand society. How society is organized and why. The role of natural science helps us to understand yourself first of all, to know who you are, what makes you, what makes us, and then our environment, our natural environment, what makes our natural environment, and how can we use it to have a better quality of life. Now, the moment you wake up about the two, understanding yourself and your surroundings, your natural surroundings, and understanding society, which is social science, history, sociology, languages, and all that, then you now need to focus on economics. Economics. What determines economics? Because what you do should be profitable in order to be sustainable. And there, you should start with the human needs. What does the human being need? The human being needs food, number one. And I'm very happy. I'm a very reliable supporter of you people, because I produce milk for you and beef for you. So I'm a very proud man. Said I am contributing to the basic needs of these people. That's why you are not importing milk from anywhere. You are not importing beef. I am one of the contributors. Then other people, I also grow bananas for you. and I'm very happy with that. Mama Janet recently started growing avocado. I hear it is useful also somehow. But avocado, what does it do? The enterprises. From Ukraine. Why are you eating? With akalo.
No, millet
quantity.
In rice, it is small.
Yes, in rice it's very small, and the body also needs it in very little quantity, so we don't really count it, but it's basically proteins. Sorry, carbohydrates.
Yes. Now, recently, I was in Vietnam, and the Vietnamese were telling me about rice. And I want to think of a polite way of discouraging them, not telling me about rice. I was with Dr. Baryomunsi. You know, Baryomunsi is a huge man. So I told Baryomunsi, I said, Baryomunsi, you stand there. Let these Vietnamese see you. Then I said, you Vietnamese, how much rice do you need to feed this monster, this huge man? So I said, please, don't tell me about rice. Let's talk about other things. We have got our foods, very good foods. Actually, we need to export them to the world and help the world to have a better diet. So therefore, number one, in your business, now that you have woken up, number one need is food. Number two, so food growing, food processing, food storage. You can't go wrong there if you are anywhere in that chain. Second need of human is clothing. Clothing. So I'm very glad to see you people struggling with the textiles. I saw some of the young people with textiles, the shoes. I'm glad you are now no longer importing shoes, you are making your own shoes, the blankets, clothing. This is the second human need. You can look on the internet. Do we have somebody from Ministry of Trade here? Anybody from the economy side? That Bank of Uganda man is supposed to be some economist of some sort. Come and tell us, Bank of Uganda, how many dollars do we spend on clothing each year? Do you know or you don't know?
Your Excellency, I'm Richard Byarugaba, I'm head of finance, and we do import a lot of textile.
How much?
It's
oh, you don't be a Christian. Be a Christian. If you don't know, don't.
Your Excellency, I don't have the figure, but it's in the region of 3 trillion Uganda shillings.
You go and check and come back and tell us.
All right, Your Excellency.
Check on the phone. And also check two figures. Check how much Uganda spends on clothing, on textiles, and what is the global size of the business of the textile business in the world. Two figures. What Uganda spends on textiles, and what is the global size of the textile business. So that you young people, you can know that once I go into this line, I am sure of an internal market here, I am sure of a regional market, I am sure of a global market, provided my products are good. Then the next is shelter. And I'm glad some of the young people have woken up. They are making construction materials. I saw there, making building materials. This is a huge area because people cannot live without shelter. Building material for the walls, for the roof, for the support of the structures and so on. Then health, and I'm glad some of the young people were involved in the medical, using the traditional herbs there was one who was making anti-eczema. The one who was making anti-eczema from Omusa, Omugavu, Albizia. Who is that one? The young lady who was making anti-eczema. Come and boast on the telephone.
Your Excellency, my name is Maureen Nice.
Your name is who?
Maureen. Kashija Maureen.
Who?
Kashija Maureen.
Kashija.
Yes.
That is more understandable.
Thank you. We are a cosmetics manufacturing company. We make eczema products, especially from Mugavu. We use Mugavu leaves and flowers in Vaseline and in soap.
You make anti-eczema, not eczema one.
Yes, anti-eczema. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. So this is a huge area. Thank you so much. We call it pathogenic economy. Pathogenic economy, starting with the vaccines, the diagnostics, the disinfectants, the therapeutics. It's a huge business. Huge business. I think your staff here, your secretariat led by Nyamutoro, they should give you these figures. What is the global business of pharmaceuticals, for instance? How much money is spent on medicines globally? Secondly, how much is Uganda importing in terms of medicines? You will see huge opportunity. Then now you come to mobility. This is the other important human need. People in the past used to walk on foot, then they started traveling on horseback, and now people are moving around in vehicles. That business of vehicles. Then security. You remember the original problem of Africa was lagging behind in the technology of security. When we lagged behind in gunpowder, that was our biggest mistake. We are now not going to lag behind again. We are making our own weapons, and we shall continue improving. So I was happy to see some of you people making some gadgets there was somebody who was making a communication gadget to communicate in terms of danger. Who is that one? Come and we see you. Somebody was making an alarm, something. Who was that? What happened to that one? An alarm? Explain what you are making.
Appreciate Your Excellency. It is Yunga. It is a detector that detects the proximity of the thief to your door and alerts you and your neighbors.
To detect an intruder?
Yes, please.
Explain how it works.
Go ahead.
Yunga is simply a digital security platform that connects you with your neighbors. In case of any emergency, you just press a button and help will be coming from your neighbors and also from the police in your community.
Very good. Yes. So that is a whole area. So therefore, as you are now waking up to use science to solve problems of society, you need to cluster those problems into what? For me, I have tried to cluster them for you here. Food needs, clothing needs, shelter needs, health needs, mobility needs, security needs. You can add on your own list. Entertainment, that one I have not talked about here. So that then you should check the demand within Uganda, the demand within Africa, because we have created for you a common market of Africa. We had to work from 1980 at the Lagos conference. Our leaders woke up. This had been 20 years since independence. They woke up and said, if we don't create one African market, we shall never get out of poverty. Because you can have a continent of a lot of natural resources, but if it is badly organized economically and politically, it will never get out of poverty. Look at Latin America. Latin America has got more natural resources than the United States. But you watch on TV, people from South America are walking on foot to go to the United States because of the misery in Latin America. Why? Because Latin America is disorganized politically and economically. There's no way you can make business in Latin America and you succeed. In Guatemala, in Uruguay, in what? Those are rich in presidents, but poor in everything else. Have a lot of presidents, they come to meetings, a lot of gun salutes, but poor in everything else. Now, the United States, whatever you think about the President Americans who are there now, they are leaders. But the original ones, like Washington and others, had a better view when they united the 13 American colonies, British colonies, into the nucleus of the United States. That big market is the one which has made the United States to overtake these small European countries, UK, France, all those small countries, because for them they were stuck in their old narrowness. British, whatever, France, I don't know what. Now, this United States became easier for business to operate in. Because if I was in the USA, I would now be a billionaire. Because I would sell my milk from New York to California, a land area of 3 million square miles, a population of 320 million. So now the future is now going to belong to those big countries. You have seen how China has overtaken those small countries of Europe. It is now the second biggest economy, China. All those little countries, UK, what have you, those are wako nyuma huko. Now, India is coming up. Russia is a very powerful country. Although the population is not so big, it's about 140 million, but it's a huge country. And it will come up after they get out of their confusion, which they had at some time. Therefore, we in Africa, we couldn't be part of that confused group. We are very happy that our leaders in 1980, when some of us were still fighting, but those who were in charge, they met in Lagos, and they launched what they call the Lagos Plan of Action. You can check it on your internet, you will see what it was. But it was saying, Africa to be prosperous, we needed to have a common market. That's how we started with the East African, with COMESA, what became COMESA. And East African Community. And now we are talking about the African Common Market. So we have now created that African market for you. It's there. There's the Ugandan market, there's the East African market, there's the African market. So you should check. When I talk of textiles, what is the size of business in Uganda of textiles? What is the size of business of textiles in East Africa? What is the size of business of textiles in the whole of Africa? How about globally? Because you should also look at the global to be able to export to the external world. So finally, I will have a meeting with your leaders, Nyamutoro's group, so that we discuss about the funding for your innovations. Of course, there is already money in UDB. We are putting that money there. But why can't the youth access it? Why can't we have, is UDB here? Are they here? They are not here. We shall meet and we shall definitely fund these innovations if they have got a clear business perspective. Now, finally, when we finish singing the anthem, I will pass by the European Union pavilion. I am glad these Europeans, I really feel sorry for them because they had a lot of opportunities, but they have been misusing them. I don't know why. They come to tell me how to organize elections. How to organize elections? I am an expert on elections. You can call me to help you, but so how to organize elections, how to handle homosexuals, please. I know how to handle homosexuals. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Mundeke. So you tell these Europeans, say mutuleke. Mutuleke. But otherwise, you can hear that I am speaking to you in English. I'm not speaking Chinese. I'm not speaking Russian. I'm not speaking Turkish. I'm not speaking Hindi. I'm speaking English. So I can easily work with you people, with you the Europeans, if you are disciplined. The problem is that they lack discipline. Somebody comes to your house, say, this chair should be, you man, you have just come to my house. You should sit where I show you. Not to tell me this chair should be here. This is bad manners. So, but these young people in the embassy are good young people. That young man is, I know him. And the girl is from where? You will tell me where you are from. The young man is from Sweden. Sweden looked after my children very well and my wife. They are disciplined in Sweden. So I will pass by their exhibition. Thank you very much. I want to thank Nyamutoro. I didn't know that she had understood my vision so well. Together with her group, Rugumayo. You know where Rugumayo is? You don't know whether he's from Congo or from Uganda? Rugumayo, you go and tell them where you are from, your group.
Your Excellency, I come from Munduroko.
But some of you are Congolese, so who is a Ugandan? How do you know who is a Congolese and who is not a Congolese?
It is true, Musei, many of us are neither fully Ugandan nor Congolese because the borders are a creation of just a few years ago.
Yes, because I can go to Bunya, the city in Congo, I can go there and address people in Nyankore and they will hear what I'm saying. Like recently we had a delegation from Congo. It had a member of parliament called Tebasima. And he's the member of parliament for the other side of the Rugumayos on the Congo side. So I'm glad you are, with your group, you are waking up. Chirabo, the Okot, the man from Tororo, what is his name? The Tororo man. Because this is the way to go. It's not just to politics, oh yeah, what, no. Let us solve problems, especially poverty and lack of jobs. The Tororo man.
Your Excellency, sir, my name is Odoi Onen Mutusa.
Odoi. Warwaswa.
Afoya, Ladit.
Very good. These people don't know our language. Thank you very much.
Esteemed youth, can we give His Excellency a better round of applause? Your Excellency, with your permission, may I invite the MPs? May I invite the MPs to head for an official launch by the Excellency of the Youth Magazine. We will undertake that function first before the anthems. The 5 MPs, accompanied by Honorable Anite, accompanied by the EU Ambassador, accompanied by the one representative of the mobilizers and organizers of this forum, Osborne Turiamusinga, joined the team, where His Excellency is going to do a signing and official launch of the Youth Magazine. And after that, we will have a plaque handed over to His Excellency as a gift on behalf of the youth on this day. And then after that, we will go for the anthem. After the signing of that magazine and launching it officially by His Excellency, we will then have a gift of a plaque handed over to His Excellency by your leaders, the MPs, together with the Honorable Anite and our lead coordinator of this business forum. Can we get the plaque handed over to His Excellency? And it is being done there by the youth MPs led by Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, the chairperson. And then we will have a quick photo opportunity by His Excellency, accompanied by the youth leaders, the EU Ambassador, when His Excellency reaches the tent, we will have the anthem sung in reverse order. After that, then, after the anthems, His Excellency will proceed to the exhibition stall of the EU. As we come to the anthems, Your Excellency, may I recognize two distinguished young people. Your Excellency, these are young people. One is called Tumwine Henry, and is the CEO of Clutch Technology Limited. May you stand up, Tumwine. Tumwine, may you stand up for His Excellency to see you. And Tumwine, together with Ogwal Ronald, who works with Tangaza Energy, have been recognized as the outstanding youth from all over Uganda who have distinguished themselves with their innovation. And in honor, Your Excellency, Uganda Airlines has awarded them a business ticket, a return business ticket to Dubai that will be handed over to them by Honorable Anite after the anthem on behalf of Uganda Airlines. Your Excellency, allow me also finally recognize Ogwal Sam, who is the Secretary for Finance, National Youth Council. Earlier I had recognized his colleague Brenda Kichoncho. So Ogwal, you're also recognized. Now the anthems in reverse order. Thank you very much. Now, His Excellency is going to head to the stall of the EU. The rest of us, can we be seated? May I invite only the leaders. Honorable Anite, the EU Ambassador, the other MPs, Honorable Fiona lead the other MPs, and the National Youth Council leaders, Ogwal, Honorable Kichoncho, kindly accompany the MPs to the stall. May I take this opportunity on behalf of the organizers and the youth leaders here and the youth to sincerely thank the EU ambassador, the EU delegation in Uganda. No copy of the ID. Sima Felix,